Hi everyone, my name is Mrs. Wilson and I teach kindergarten. Today I'm going to show you my classroom and I'm also going to go over some things that we do in our classroom for math, reading, writing, social studies, and science, and also the expectations and consequences that we have here in room 109. So first off, I would like to talk about the expectations of this classroom and for kindergarten and the consequences that follow that. Okay, so here at Price, we do Price Pride. Okay, so each letter stands for something. So you can see that this yellow poster here behind me, we go over that every single day on the announcements, and the kids know all about Price Pride. We encourage the kids to show Price Pride, which is P, positive attitude, R, respect for all, I, integrity, D, do the right thing, and E, effort towards learning. So, positive attitude, we've talked a lot about emotions and that every day we're not going to have a wonderful attitude, right? Sometimes we have bad days. But we have talked about how we want to try our best to have a positive attitude all day, every day. And if not, we can talk about that. Okay. Our respect for all. Our class has talked about how we want to listen to one another and we want to keep our hands, feet, and all objects to ourselves. Integrity is for the I, so we are always working hard. D, we're doing the right thing. So even if one of our friends aren't doing the right thing, if they aren't doing the right thing, then we still do the right thing and then we stay in our area and we say no. If someone tries to engage us in something that we're not supposed to be doing, we say no to that individual so that we are doing the right thing and that the other person can be taken care of. E is effort towards learning. So we are going to complete all of our assignments and we're always going to try our best. I do not allow the kids to say that they can't do something in this room because we can do it whenever we try. So we try our best. Um, if the students are not showing one of these and are having some trouble, kindergarten across all three classrooms have some consequences that we've come up with. So the consequences are first, we'll give a verbal warning. So if you're like walking around the classroom, I would say, "Hi, let's make sure that we stay in our seats." I would redirect that student to their seat, and then hope that they do that. If for some reason the student was walking around the classroom again, I would then talk with the student, redirect them to their seat, talk with them, let them know that why we're having this conversation so they're not staying seated, and that is something that we are supposed to be doing. If that happens again, I would then have them visit the calm down spot, which is what I call Alaska. And Alaska is right over here. Oops. And you can see that there are some different things that they can put in their hands, kind of play with, not necessarily play with, but kind of some different things to kind of calm them down, some tactile things that they can feel that, calms them down a little bit. We have some breathing exercises over there. It's just a place for them to calm down and take a minute to themselves. If for some reason that doesn't work, they then will visit a different classroom to get a break. And then, if all else fails with all of these four steps, then we would have a parent contact. So, whether that be for my classroom, I do get on Dojo. So, I would write the parent on Dojo, speak with them that way, or I would make a phone call. So, if you are seeing those, if you're getting a phone call or some kind of contact from me, this is why they failed to follow these. Whenever the student is having some trouble in the classroom, we have a support sheet for our students. We would mark the behavior that they're having in the classroom, and then we would give them three interventions. So, three things, whether that be the calm down spot, visiting a classroom, all the things that I mentioned practically. And then we would call to have somebody pull them out of the classroom so that they can have a chat with them, whether that be the counselor or whomever may be available to have a conversation with that student. The next thing I would like to mention is the class management that I have in here. So in my room, we do Class Dojo, which I give them an opportunity to gain so many points every week starting on Monday. If they get this week, if they get 30 points, they will be able to join me in the classroom for lunch and they'll be able to watch a little show and sit with their friends in their assigned seat. That is for contact tracing. Also, I give them treats throughout the day, whether that be goldfish or Skittles, and all of these things are handled with washed hands for me and gloves. I'm very making sure we're very safe on that end. Some things that are important, all the things that we learn in kindergarten are important, but to highlight a few things that are super important for kindergarten are for math, your scholar will be writing numbers 1 through 20. They'll be identifying and counting numbers to 100 and counting 1 to 1, which means they'll be touching the objects as they count, and they'll verbally say the number out loud. They will be comparing numbers from more or less or the same. We will be identifying 2 and 3D shapes and then adding and subtracting towards the end of the year. For writing, they are identifying and writing uppercase and lowercase letters, all 26 of them, including the funny looking letters, like the funny G that we usually see in like books or something kind of old timey. They will be identifying and writing sight words, and that will lead them to be able to read and write. For social studies, we'll be going over wants and needs, exploring topics that affect them and their environment, and as well as talking about communities, their city, state, all of that kind of stuff. And for science, the main things will be weather, climate. They'll be learning about ecosystems and pushing and pulling. So the last thing that I want to show you is I want to give you a little glance at our classroom. So this is where your scholar is. We have table points that we do throughout the day. This is where they have learning targets, the things that they're learning every day. We have their reading nook, which we have some Chromebooks over there right now, which they're going to find a new home, a library, and each table has little caddies that hold their items and their book nooks and their math tools. So that is our classroom. And I'm so glad that we didn't get to meet in person, but I hope you have a great day, and thanks for joining.